Today on Investigate TV Plus, caring for caregivers.
Ready?
They provide unpaid care for someone who relies on them for their basic needs, and that can come at the expense of their own health and financial security.
Is there a caregiving crisis in this country?
Absolutely. There's an urgent crisis in this country.
We take an in-depth look at this hidden workforce in healthcare, the search for solutions at the state and federal levels, plus
We struggle with having to hold up the whole family.
we reveal one caregiver's overwhelming reality.
Then affordable, fast, and dangerous. The popularity of e-bikes and e-scooters is soaring, but so are visits to emergency rooms. We examine the risks for riders, and a mother shares her heartache to prevent another tragedy.
And a relationship on paper inspires a woman to write the next chapter in her lifelong penship.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Former First Lady Rosalynn Carter once said, "There are only four kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who are currently caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregivers."
Caregiving for a loved one, it's not just a good deed, it's a public health issue. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Research reveals 1 in 4 U.S. adults currently serve as caregiver for a relative with complex medical needs. And most family caregivers are unpaid. But advocates say this invisible workforce in healthcare is desperate for help.
Reporter Heather Graff shows you the search for solutions at the state and federal levels, plus one woman's daily reality amid concerns that a caregiving crisis isn't looming, it's already here.
It's just past 6 a.m. on a rainy morning in Maryland,
The day is the 13th.
and Pamela Talley has been awake for hours,
Cold coffee, it still works.
cooking, cleaning, prepping, packing, and generally going nonstop.
Good morning.
Because once her son is awake, he's the priority. Xander is autistic and has minimal language skills.
Ready?
His daily routine, largely reliant on his mom.
Can you eat a couple more spoonfuls first? Cap.
Yet even after Xander boards the school bus,
Have a good day.
for Pamela, there is no time to waste.
One down.
A caregiver not just for her child, but her husband as well.
It's having to be everything to everyone.
You see, Kenneth Talley has Alzheimer's disease.
This is his memory patch.
And by 8:30 a.m., Pamela's focus has shifted to her spouse's medication management, blood pressure monitoring, upcoming doctor's appointments, and personal grooming, like shaving Kenneth's face. All of it now falls on Pamela.
So you got a lot on your plate.
I have a lot on my plate. I do.
The family photos that are ever present in this house,
This is a picture of my husband and I on our wedding day.
a reminder of what was before they got Kenneth's diagnosis 2 years ago.
It took my breath away, honestly. He was my co-pilot, we co-piloted this life together. And I thought, how many more memories are we gonna have? How am I gonna support the whole family through this? And there was just so much to get done.
Such is the demanding life of a family caregiver. And as of 2025, the National Alliance for Caregiving says 63 million Americans are doing just that. This new report warns of a dramatic increase in the number of caregivers nationwide, up by 20 million since 2015, as people are living longer and the U.S. population is aging.
Is there a caregiving crisis in this country?
Absolutely. There's an urgent crisis in this country.
Jason Resendez is the NAC president and says the organization's research also revealed family caregivers are stretched thin. Despite having virtually no medical training, they spend on average 27 hours a week caring for loved ones with chronic health conditions, allowing them to age at home and avoid costly long-term care facilities. Meanwhile, emotional and economic strain are widespread among the caregivers themselves.
Going into debt or reducing savings or even leaving the workforce due to caregiving.
If the faucet just stays on, it's just going to run out.
Pamela knows that struggle because she stopped working years ago when it became clear her son needed more support, and her husband is now retired.
Caregiving is very expensive.
In fact, when we shared with her this AARP study that found family caregivers spend an average of $7,242 annually on out-of-pocket costs related to caregiving, Pamela said this.
When we think about safety equipment, adaptations, bringing in help, the cost can be a lot higher than that.
One of the key challenges that family caregivers face is a lack of supportive infrastructure. From a healthcare perspective, from an economic perspective, from a mental health perspective, we need a regime of policies.
One policy the NAC supports is what's known as the Credit for Caring Act that's been repeatedly introduced on Capitol Hill. It would provide a non-refundable federal tax credit up to $5,000 for eligible family caregivers. Democratic Representative Linda Sanchez and Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito are among the bill's bipartisan co-sponsors and say it's personal in part because both lawmakers helped care for their own elderly parents with Alzheimer's.
I know from my own personal struggle, wanting to do it the right way, it became incumbent upon me and my brother and my sister to care for them.
Both my mother and my father lived with Alzheimer's for many years, and it was always their wish to stay at home as long as possible.
In advocating for that legislation, nonprofits like the Alzheimer's Association acknowledge they also have ongoing concerns about cuts to Medicaid and caution the caregiver tax credit on its own is not nearly enough.
We do see it as a critical step forward. Of course, more has to be done.
How would you respond to that concern?
I think the expectations that you're going to do everything the first time in its entirety are going down the wrong path.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't meant to be a silver bullet, and if it doesn't happen this term, there's always next term.
The federal proposal so far has not advanced, but Oklahoma in 2023 became the first state to adopt a comprehensive caregiver tax credit up to $3,000, and Nebraska passed similar legislation in 2024.
The state work is critical, but ideally we would have both.
For ID, insurance cards, medications.
For Pamela, it's still a constant juggle between her husband and son. But since Kenneth is a veteran, they eventually secured some in-home assistance through the VA.
Companion care coming today at 10 o'clock.
A stopgap for this family, but not a solution.
It's been a pretty tough road.
And on behalf of all caregivers, she says it's past time for this country to act.
We're all going to be touched by the caregiving experience one way or another. They deserve our support. They need our support.
The Center for Retirement Research at Boston College has actually studied potential support policies for family caregivers, things like tax credits, paid family leave, paid respite care, reimbursement for out-of-pocket costs, or direct payments from the government. The center recently surveyed caregivers about what type of support would help the most and found 44% would prefer assistance in the form of direct payments. But the bottom line, according to the national advocacy group Justice and Aging, is that state and federal lawmakers need to be thinking big.
Still to come, Alzheimer's disease affects memory and communication, but a creative form of therapy may ease these challenges. We explore how artwork draws a bittersweet connection between patients and their caregivers.
But first, they're a fast and convenient way to get around town. But
People are getting very seriously hurt.
we examine the surge in e-bike and e-scooter injuries and solutions to prevent accidents. They're low cost and travel nearly twice the speed of traditional bikes and scooters.
From work to school, thousands use e-bikes and scooters to get around. But we discovered these micro-mobility vehicles are increasingly becoming more dangerous, especially for young people.
Reporter Kristen Crowley examines the risks in one mother's quest for tighter safety regulations.
In March 2025, Kat Velasquez was at work when her phone wouldn't stop ringing.
I was like, who's this? And she goes, you don't know me, honey. I'm just calling to tell you that both your kids were hit by a car. They were on their scooters.
Las Vegas Metro Police say her 22-year-old son, Christopher Soto, and his 14-year-old brother were riding their e-scooters when they entered an intersection and collided with a car. Kat says she sped across town to find out what happened to her sons.
I didn't know if both my kids were dead. One. And when I got there, they had all the streets blocked off.
When she arrived at the hospital, a nurse pulled her into a private room. She was told her youngest son, Carlos, was in bad shape and would need months of rehabilitation.
His injuries, some will heal, some will not. He still has a gouge of his skull kind of indented, and the doctor told him that he'll never get vision again in his eye.
As for her eldest son, Christopher, he did not survive.
She told me, I'm really sorry, but we tried everything, and we could not bring Christopher's heart rate back.
Christopher and Carlos are part of a troubling national statistic. Researchers at UC San Francisco report a major national surge in accidents involving e-bikes and e-scooters. E-bicycle injuries mostly doubled every year from 2017 to 2022, while e-scooter injuries rose by 45% each year.
If you're on an e-bike and you get in an accident with another vehicle, you're not going to win that accident.
Sunny Johnson is a supervisor for Honolulu EMS. She's witnessed firsthand the harm e-bikes can cause.
People are getting very seriously hurt. Ruptured spleens, head injuries, concussions, facial fractures, extremity fractures, deep lacerations.
Johnson says riders suffer more severe injuries because of factors like a lack of self-stabilization, uneven acceleration, and higher speeds.
It's even more important when you're going quicker to be attentive, be aware of your surroundings, and ride in a predictable and visible manner.
Malia Haranaga echoes Johnson's concerns. She's the Hawaii Bicycling League's director of adult education and teaches people the proper way to ride. Haranaga believes it's crucial for riders to get to know their e-bike, and she urges everyone to wear a helmet.
We always advocate for going, starting slow, getting familiar with that bike before you get riding on the streets.
To ensure riders follow the rules of the road, police in Henderson, Nevada work directly with schools to educate students, parents, and staff about the risks and laws.
If your child's operating an electric motorcycle that looks more like a motorcycle and not like a bicycle with pedals, if they're operating to from school, it's going to be an issue.
And Henderson Police Traffic Sergeant Richard Paul says that it's not just kids who face consequences. Under Nevada state law, parents and guardians can also be held liable if their child is caught riding illegally, which means they could face citations.
They don't really realize what they have their children out operating with.
Back in Las Vegas, family and friends built a makeshift memorial in the memory of Christopher near the intersection where he lost his life. His heartbroken mother says she drives by daily. On the pavement, the painted outlines of where her son's scooter came to rest are still in the road.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe my son is dead. My Christopher's gone.
She says it serves as a painful reminder of the agony of losing her eldest son.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends children under 16 should not ride or operate motorized e-scooters.
KidsHealth.org says most health experts don't recommend that older kids ride e-bikes, but if they do, they should be at least 16 years old. Still to come, a woman with a lifetime of written memories lacked one special connection. We reveal her bucket list item and the moment she was inspired to fulfill it.
But first, the art of memory care. We explore how museums can enrich the lives of Alzheimer's and dementia patients and potentially unlock memories.
Psychologists say happiness is often rooted through connections with others, but when someone struggles to communicate, building and maintaining those relationships can be challenging.
In South Carolina, History Museum has become a place for Alzheimer's patients to reconnect with loved ones and their past. Reporter Carrie Beal explores how the displays provide a healing space.
In the quiet halls of the Upcountry History Museum in Greenville, Joseph Storch finds solace.
Well, this is kind of in remembrance of my father.
Different exhibits can bring back memories, which for him are precious. 1 year ago, he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's.
I would forget where I put down anything at a time. I couldn't keep things in order or organized.
Joseph isn't the only one finding comfort from relics of the past. It's why a monthly support group for Alzheimer's patients is held here.
The exhibits themselves stimulate the brain. We have a lady right now that's attending who is an artist, and one time we had a display of art, and she lit up and was ready to talk about it, and then she started telling other people about the art, and her husband had not seen that in her. So again, it was just a really aha moment for him to be able to see the value of the support group.
It turns out these historic pictures and scenes can bring back memories many thought were lost for good. Upcountry History Museum CEO Dana Thorpe describes one day when a husband and wife were here.
And at one point, the wife had to step out of the exhibition space so she could just cry. And our staff member, of course, concerned, engaged with her, and she said, no, they're happy tears. She said, on most good days, he doesn't even remember that we have adult children or that we had children. And in the Wizard of Oz exhibit space, he looked at his wife and said how he recalled taking their daughter to see the movie.
It's an emotional connection that is not only beneficial for the patients, the caretakers find strength and understanding in their shared journey as well.
It's another day out for me and for my husband.
Beyond support and memories, there's also something therapeutic about human connection.
If I get to a point where I can get somebody to wave back at me or get a smile or whatever, my day's better.
Up next.
And what was it like reading that after so many years?
Oh, it was the most awe-inspiring thing to think that we were just kids. We were 15 years old.
After 60 years of letter writing, we show you how a woman created a new bond with her pen pal. In a world of text messages and emails, some say letter writing is a lost art.
For 6 decades, a woman in Vermont embraced this art by fostering a friendship with a pen pal across the pond. The two women never talked on the phone and never met in person until recently.
Reporter Joe Carroll shows how they went from exchanging letters to exchanging hugs.
Oh, I love this lake.
Mirror Lake in North Calais is where Debbie Haskins finds her peace. Except for the paddles dipping in the cold water, there is silence.
Magical.
It gives her time to think about her friend Angela of 60 years.
But she's never seen me on the water.
The two have been pen pals since they were teens.
You know, I come from an era where writing was important.
Debbie was a student at Essex High School. Angela lived in Cheltenham, England. Debbie still has the first letter that Brett wrote her in February of 1965.
And her handwriting is beautiful. She's a lefty. I would like to correspond with you very much, if you have no objections. But if you do want a pen pal in England, then I would like to correspond with you. Please tell me your hobbies. I long to hear from you. My best regards to your family. Best wishes from Angela.
And what was it like reading that after so many years?
Oh, it was the most awe-inspiring thing to think that we were just kids. We were 15 years old. But to get a letter from her was the highlight of my high school career. She actually cut out things.
Debbie has kept everything that Angela has sent her.
And this is a picture when she was a teenager.
A lifetime of memories and connections.
Priceless is not even a good word for it because it's so much more than that.
The 2nd of October, 1975. Both now married. Angela writes,
Neil is watching TV, the telly. Telly Savalas is playing golf in Scotland.
Debbie would write the letters from here in North Calais to her friend Angela in England. They'd write about pop music to fashion, work to marriage. 60 years of stories. But there was something missing.
It was my one bucket list thing that I never got to do.
Her friends thought otherwise. They organized a trip for Debbie to meet Angela across the pond.
I had to go out and get a passport.
Landing in London, Debbie made perhaps the most nerve-wracking phone call of her life.
Hello, Debbie.
Angela! Oh my God, it's you! Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
And it was the first time hearing each other's voice.
Can you come at 9? Yeah, sure. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
The next day they would meet.
And here it is. Hugs.
Debbie gave a warm embrace. Angela more reserved.
60 years.
But at the end of the day together.
And that was when she whispered in my ear, "This I'll never forget today. I'll never forget this."
The two, now 75, most likely will never meet again. The letter writing will live on.
My dearest Angela, I am sitting at my desk, all unpacked and reliving all the memories. How can it be that after 60 years we finally met? Did you think that when we were 15?
Growing up together, one letter at a time.
It is very magical.
Fun fact you may not know, this one had a pen pal growing up, right?
I did, and I think it lasted about 6 months.
6 months?
Nowhere near 60
Nowhere
years.
near 60 years?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that up. So
That's a long, can you imagine doing that for 60 years?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
They finally got to meet
Very
them.
nice.
Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus.
There you go.
As schools across the country ban cell phones in the classroom, we found the idea is also hitting happy hour.
You can get kids to put their phones away. You can get adults to do it.
We take you to a phone-free bar and restaurant where old school conversation is making a comeback.